Okay, uh, I think I got the bench cleared off enough where I could scooch on another radio so I can fill in the time, hopefully, um, before it gets hot uh, during the week. I got skeeters everywhere. Um, well, there's only one person that really made a request, and out of the 541 subscribers that YouTube says I have, um, I'm really killing them, knocking them dead. It must be knocking them dead because there's no response to most of them. I think it was Tube Dude, but don't quote me on that. The only one that made a request. He said the GE. Now, I got two GEs. I got the L740, the one I'm working on the buttons for. And I got this one. This is the X-757 or something like that, 7X7 or something. This is the export model. It has broadcast shortwave 1 and 2 and 4 band spreads. So I'm guessing that he is wanting to be a little bit more adventurous than the L740. I've done an L740 a long time ago, but I didn't do a breakdown of it. It was only after I got it done and complete and put the operation video up on YouTube. And it's been probably 5 years, 6 years maybe, somewhere around there. So we're gonna go to this one next. This is the one that I said that they have the plastic with the printing on the back side of the plastic, and they got it right up against this fabric. And I'm hoping that this stuff is non-stick. We'll see when we get there. It's going to get new fabric anyway. The knobs are all there. It does have, boy, the mosquitoes are just having a field day on me. It does have decaling here and there. It's got the settings for 1 through 7 around the dial here. There's a little pointer on the back side of this. So, and these here are slightly marbled, kind of a red hue to them. Thank God I don't have to make any of those. It's got full finish on the sides and the front wing here. This is all hardwood. This is hardwood, and this, I think, this here is veneer. I'm pretty sure it's veneer. This here is the same as that side. You can see it's coming loose right here. It's warping, but it's all there with the exception of this little chip right here. So I think we can salvage that. The back is got a little stressing right here. It's cracked right through there, and it's broken right here, but it's there. It's not. There are no missing pieces to this thing, so we'll see. We can, I believe we can salvage that. We've got a little delamination going here, a little right there, and this side looks fairly good. The bottom looks fairly good. This has radio phono input. There's the phono jack, and the cord is not in too bad a shape. I I think we might be able to go ahead and maybe reuse that. We'll have to modify the we'll have to modify the plug, possibly. I don't see a transformer in this set, but wait a minute, that may be the power transformer. I don't see an audio transformer right now. It might be under chassis. So let me get this thing opened up and we'll take a look. Hang on. All right, here is the rear cover removed. The external antenna connections taken loose from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes. This one looks like a octal. Octal. Yeah, this is the power transformer. It's got the settings for the, I don't know if you can see it, the sun is a little beaten down on the thing. It's now on the one, I think the 125 setting. There is a 125, a 150, a 200, and a 230 setting on that, so I'm assuming that's the power trans. This here is the plug that feeds into the chassis. That is the power output tube. This one here must be the rectum fire. Let's see what we got here. Hello. Yeah, 25 Z6. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, and then we've got Flintstone job here. Oop. Well, that one didn't hang on very good. Yeah, they got this thing grounded everywhere but Sundays. Well, it's so we're going to have to redo that. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it does turn the dial thingy, and always turn your tuner plates full mesh. Always, that way you don't make a mistake and grab it or hit it with something and bend the fins on it, because then you'll be in the hurt bag, because they're very hard to get straight. Very, very hard to get straightened out once you bend them. 2 lamps. You got a permanent magnet speaker that goes in here, so I'm assuming the audio trans is in here. So let me get this uncorked and take it out, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, chassis out. That's a long ass pointer. It does have it's supposed to have an insert in that groove, where when the light hits the thing, it illuminates, it reflects, kind of like a reflector, to let you know where this sucker is in relationship to the band. And I have the owner, or the seller, did send that thing. There it is, right there. And it's all warped and bent and everything. So we'll have to prepare a new insert for this. Let's see. Let's turn this thing up. It looks like it's got 51 bulbs, maybe somewhere in there, maybe. Let's turn this up. Well, it's original. There's the audio transformer. So this is off tone, volume, tuning, and band selection. Sorry for the shadowing here. The sun is in a precarious spot there. I'm guessing this here is original. I don't know. It looks like it could be, but yeah, I could be mistaken. Got a little snoodle there. But it looks like all the rest of them are pretty much this originals. And there's not a great deal of them, that's for sure. Thank goodness. And it looks like it's got decent wiring in it, at least. Somebody went the extra mile for it, so yeah, it should clean up pretty good. So we'll get the going on this thing here. Since it's not looking too compromised, we might go for a power up on this thing right off the bat. So, and now here's the inside of the cabinet, and that front panel, the entire piece comes out. So I'm hoping. I see all them screws in there, so it must come out. So we'll see. A nice, I think that's a 8-inch speaker. Might be a 7-inch, but it could be an 8-inch. I don't know if they made any 7-inch speakers. I imagine they did somewhere. They made a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 6.5, and 8, and 10, and 12. So I'm sure somebody must have accommodated the 7-inch size. So yeah, this one looks like it might not be too bad. It does have some slight issues with the graphic here and there, and up here. We may be able to straighten that out to a certain degree. I don't know. If nothing else, we'll get a scan of that thing, doll it up, and to get it sized, and send it to Radio Days and see if they can reprint it. So stand by, we'll have more. Well, everybody, I'm just trying to get this thing checked out, and didn't get a response out of it. We changed the lamps out to see whether or not the 6-volt winding was going to be alright, and it is. The other winding for the tube that comes off and feeds the rectifier tube and the power tube, it appears to be intact. The high voltage is dead. I'm not getting any B plus out of it. So I guess this in here is going to have to go on the shelf until I can find something to replace this with. Anybody that's had to deal with this particular radio and the transformer, if you had issues, let me know. And that'll save me a lot of groundwork, but I'm guessing these things here are few and far between. So it shouldn't be any more difficult to find one that will work in here. It's not going to be the same thing, and I might have to modify it so that it doesn't utilize this contraption, and it'll only be for 60 hertz. I think this one here, I don't know if this is a combo. Let me check and see. Transformer, socket and plug, 110, 230 volt AC, 50-60 cycle. So, it's probably not going to make a difference anyway. So anyway, the rectifier tube was the only tube that checked out. All the other tubes, the power output tube, or the audio output tube, it was shorted. This one here was near dead. That one there was near dead. And this one here, it was near dead. So, I mean, they were all stressing. So, yeah, something took out the transformer. So I'm guessing, since this was shorted, and the other might be, you know, I didn't check that audio trans. Let me check that real quick and see whether or not we got an issue with that. Yeah, the audio transformer is still viable. So this one here is going to have to go on the rack, and we're going to have to go in and see what we can find for this thing. So that's all, folks. See you on the next one. Okay, change in venue. Change the menu. A quick update. I was thinking that this here might be at fault. It is not. This culprit right here, the one that we've seen in there earlier, this comes off pin 3 of this one, or pin 3 of that anyway, and it feeds the pin 3 of the rectifier tube. It was reading nothing. So I checked this thing out to try to check the ohmage reading on it, and it's open. So I've got a 200 ohm in there. It calls for about 150 ohm because there's a parallel resistors right there, a 270 ohm and a 330 ohm that come off pin 3 here. They parallel, they're jumping right there, and they go into pin 3 and 5 of the rectifier tube. I'm getting voltage now, and I'm getting a reaction from it, but I'm not picking up anything. So it's going to be pretty much checking the resistors and replacing the caps, and taking care of any other little anomaly between hither and thither. So fortunately, I found that. I found a link to a thread on the Antique Radio Forum, and which I discovered after I ordered the radio, and before the radio came in. I printed out all the documentation on it, and I went back and reviewed the thread, and apparently this one here replaced a wire wound flex resistor that should have been in there, and and they wound up replacing that one, and so I decided to check this one, and sure enough, that sucker is open. So I'm getting hash when I go between the bands, but I'm not getting any reception. So it's going to be replace components and check resistors and bring it on in, because thank God I do not have to order a transformer. And that was my next step. I mean, I already got the documentation together to see what the requirement was going to be on this, and then take preliminary measurements of what I had here to work with and see if I could find one. And I just happened to think about that thread on Antique Radioformer. I went and reviewed it again, and sure enough. So we're going to get into that in the next day or so. It's starting to build in here now. It's 11 o'clock and it's pushing 100. So we're going to go in and kick back, cop the mail, and put it on the shelf till tomorrow. So thanks for watching.